If you guys are new here, what's the deal? And if you guys are old, what that shit do? All right. Keep in mind that these messages are general, so if it doesn't apply, let it fly. Catch me on the next one, and hopefully it sticks. Okay. So, collective, good morning. I'm still in bed. That's why I got the camera off. We're not using the cards. This is just us chit chatting and me giving you guys the downloads that I had got, right? So I woke up this morning and I was scrolling and I came across this one lady post, right? And she was watching, what is it, Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, right? It was just on the TV. And it was so many confirmations for her because she had lost two of her daughters, right? And her daughter name was Millie Melanie. And in the Hey Zion, good morning, rise and shine. In the episode, the girl's name, hey Tainted, was Millie Melanie, right? So that was the first like shocker to her, right? And then she had a rainbow baby, and in the episode, it showed the rainbow, and then one of her other daughter who passed away name was JoJo, and they named her that after a camel, right? And in that same scene, a camel appears. Now, throughout the whole scene, it was like three of them in a the Mickey Mouse glove, like air balloon, right? And they're just flowing through the clouds and stuff like that. And she was in such shock. And I was reading the comments, and somebody was just like, "Do you know how divinely orchestrated that scene? Do you know how much work it took behind the scenes for that episode to come about and for her to be at that exact place at that exact time for her to see that?" And I was like, wow, I never really thought about it on that deep type of level. I mean, like, if you want to go deeper, you know what I'm saying? You talking about production, meetings on how to put the scene together and what led those people to want to incorporate those things and shit like that, all for it to come to that being a confirmation that not only were her two daughters that she lost, but her spirit baby as well, giving her the confirmation that they're all together and that they're all okay. And I was just so emotional off of that. And I'm just like, wow, that's so crazy. And then I had seen this other lady in the comment, and she had mentioned, she was like, I call those God winks, right? And so I had looked it up. I was like, what is a God wink, right? So it says that it's a meaningful, seemingly coincidental event that feels like a direct message, sign, or answered prayer from a divine source offering hope, reassurance, and guidance. Okay? Similar to a secret wink from God telling you, I'm thinking of you, right? So I feel like a lot of y'all could have been experiencing situations in regards to God winks, right? And I have my own when it comes to this that I want to share with y'all, okay? Now, there are four ancestors that I feel that I was very close to, that I feel like always looks over me, right? So we're gonna start with my brother Chris. Now I just had a dream about him last night, and I woke up a bit emotional from it, right? So when I was younger, but okay, so how the dream went, we were in the car, and we were getting out or whatever, and he was he when I would go to the gym, I used to have this stainless steel like water jug thing, right? And in the dream, he got out the car and he had it on the top of the car and he put it on the top of the car while he was trying to, like, I guess, finish getting stuff from out of it, right? And so I was like, hey, that's my water bottle, right? typical sibling shit. Like, that's mine. And he had this smirk on the face. He was like, no, it's not. I was like, yes, it is. So fast forward to, well, to stop that story right there, right? I feel like he came into my dream to laugh about me with something. Now, I grew up with, before I got in contact with knowing that I had another brother and other sisters, I only really thought it was just my brother and my two sisters that I grew up in a household with, right? So, it was always the girls. Like, even from like when I recently stopped living with my mom, um, and my sister would come over, or just between me and her, like I would have certain products, and it will always get mixed up. Like ever since I was young too, like everything would get mixed up. Like that's mine. It's like, oh, we bought the same thing. I was like, oh my God, no, that's mine, right? So I pray to God that I have a son. I really pray that He gives me a son so he could be in his daddy shit. But there was this situation with me and my mom and my sister. Like my sister would do my locks, right? She would retwist my hair. So I would get the braid gel. If y'all know like that orange gel, I'll get the big one. And so once my mom started to use the gel, she started to like it. And so she bought it too. So it would be two big jars in the house, right? So this one particular time, my sister did my locks and she was like, oh, you can just have it or whatever. So I was like, cool, because I needed some more. And so off of habit, right, I will write my name on shit so it wouldn't get confused for anybody else in the house that had bought the same shit. So I wrote my name at the bottom, right? And so my mom lost track of where she placed her grease at because she was always on the go, whatever. So I'm like a creature of habit. I low-key have OCD. Like when I use something, I feel like everything has a place. So I put shit back where I had it before, you know? So I I use my grease and I put it in my little 3-tier caddy or whatever with all my other hair stuff and shit. So she was like, I think that's my grease. And I was like, no, it's not, or whatever. Because I had my name written at the bottom, but I didn't mention that, right? So then I leave, come back, and I think like my grease was gone or something. I didn't notice it probably not that day, but the next day or whatever, right? And I was like, where's my grease? And so I noticed she took the freaking wrapper off of the grease. And then when I looked at the bottom, I seen where I put my name at was kind of like smeared off. And I was like, this is my grease, right? So petty. And to avoid petty shit like that, that's exactly why I write my name on shit. So it could be separate from everybody else's shit. Now, fast forward to the dream, right? I told my brother, I was like, hey, that's my water bottle. He was like, no, it's not. so, so something told me to look at the bottom and I see my name, but it was X'd out, right? So I was like, look, my name is on it, but somebody X'd it out. And so we looked at each other and we just started laughing, right? But instantly, when I woke up from that dream, it made me think of the incident of like the grease that happened with me and my mom. And I was like, he probably just wanted to laugh with me about it because he knew that was my shit, basically. But anywho, a couple of months ago, right, I was going through like a tough time, right? And when I was younger, my brother would always call me Boo, right? So he'd be like, Boo, do this, Boo, Boo, Boo. And I knew he was referring to me, right? So in the when I came across this one girl, her name was India, right? Such a sweet girl. And I knew aside from her being such a sweet girl, I knew she was also battling something that she had went through. It's kind of like having what do they call it? Post-traumatic PTSD. You know what I'm saying? From a situation that, really affected her. So oftentimes when I'll see India, she'll be like, hey, boo. And I'll be doing something. She'll be like, "What you doing, boo?" Or, she will refer to me as that. Not just me, but anybody that she was talking to, right? And it was so many times where within that day of her referring to me as boo that it made me very emotional, because I'm like, man, this reminds me of my brother. You know what I'm saying? And I just felt like that was one of those God winks when it came to him, as far as him letting me know that he was always around me. You know what I'm saying? And so now, um, we're gonna get on the topic of Z, okay? Now, me and Z met when I used to work at FedEx. FedEx can be significant to some of you guys, right? Somebody can be like a driver or a loader, or, I mean, he was a manager at FedEx, so maybe somebody can be a manager there too, as to like how you have experienced these God winks in your settings, right? So me and Z met at FedEx, right? And I was a package handler. He was the manager. And oftentimes, like, I was slow at loading my trucks. So he'll call me to his desk and he'd be like, hey, I noticed that you're a little slow. I mean, I was working at 3 o'clock in the fucking morning. I was tired. But he was like, I noticed that, you would be a little slow when it came to loading your trucks or whatever. So he was like, I'm trying to, have your back in the meetings or whatever, but I'm gonna need you to pick up the pace. I never got a write up because nigga really did have my back. But like, that led to, for me coming to his desk, that led to, like, I guess I must have opened up to him about me having a fashion show. You know what I'm saying? And then that's how he opened up to me and letting me know about him being in the music industry. So that's how our bond really like formed, because he had goals and careers that he was going after, and so did I. So it was like, oh, bet, like, I fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you actually really are out here putting in the work towards what you feel like your God given gift is. So we instantly became friends, right? And then it left to us having those conversations at work to where us hanging out outside of work. You know what I'm saying? Like, he invited me to the studio sessions so I can really just see hands on, like, how his get down was with how he was going towards his dreams and shit. You know what I'm saying? And then that was like, and it led to me making a jacket for him, all type of stuff, because I wanted to work with people that were in the industry, like bring back that those underground fashion designers into the music. You know what I'm saying? Just like how FUBU and Carl Kanai and Baby Fat, all of that was up in the music videos and stuff like that. I wanted to work with people on my level that were going towards their dreams and shit, and also bring in, fashion. So it was one time, right? Me and Z was at this studio session. It was some white dude, like, he's a really popular, really big producer in a certain genre. I forgot though, but him and his girl recently had a child, right? And so the girl that he had a child with, she was at the studio that night. So we must have been there from like 11, 12 at night to like 5 in the morning, right? And so I'm sitting down. Z made sure I had a cover and shit like that to be comfortable, since we was going to be there for a minute. And his girl comes in, right? And she's tipsy. And she sits next to me, whatever, and we just chopping it up. We laughing and everything. And like, Z would often like look back and just smile, right? And so I remember her looking at me. She was like, excuse me. She was like, I'm so tired. She was like, can I lay my head on your shoulder? And I was like, sure. You know what I'm saying? I'm not tripping. I'm not one of them females that's like, no, I don't want you on me. Get away. Like, I'm not like that. So I'm like, for sure, I got a shoulder to spare. So she knocks out sleep on me. And with the covers Z gave me, I had put it on both of us, right? So we were comfortable. So on that drive back from the studio that morning, back to Z's place, I remember that conversation that we had, and he was like, "You know what, Kelsey?" He was like, "You always find friends wherever you're at." He was like, "It don't matter where you at, like you just always just find a friend." He was just saying, like, he was like, whatever it is, don't stop doing that, or don't stop being that type of person, you know? Because we had many talks in the car. It was never a dull moment. It was never just quietness. Like we would be yapping about something. So fast forward to after Z passed away. I went to Signal Hill because he was from Long Beach, right? I went to Signal Hill. And I remember this place because I remember one time this dude had took me out on it was just like a late night drive or whatever, right? And he was like, I got somewhere I want to show you, right? So at the top of Signal Hill, you can see the whole like skyline view of Long Beach, and you know the lights just look so pretty. So I remember going there, and I was like, I want to go back, right? So I went back, and I was sitting on like one of the little cement benches, and I was just crying. Like I could not like stop my tears, and I don't like crying in front of people. And I was just telling a friend of mine last night. I was just like, it was Z's child's mother. And I was like, out of all the years me and Z been friends, I was like, that nigga only seen me cry once. And like he knew I was hurt. Like as much as we laugh, joke, talk shit, and all of that, for him to see me cry, like that's me being vulnerable around you. You know what I'm saying? So I just could not stop crying. Like I didn't even care that I was in public, whatever. Like I couldn't stop crying because I was just mourning him and my other friend Megan that I had lost a week after Z, right? So it was like boom, boom, and it hit me. So I'm sitting there, and this Cambodian woman comes up to me, right? And she just starts talking to me and everything. And she had read me. She was like, "Can I read you a scripture?" And I was like, "Yeah." So and I didn't even know I still had this in my notes, y'all. It was Isaiah 40, verse 28 through 29, right? Somebody's name could be Isaiah as a confirmation, but I'm going to read it. It says, do you not know, have you not heard? The Lord is the everlasting God, the creator of the ends of the earth. He will not grow tired or weary in his understanding. No one can fathom. He gives strength to the weary and increase the power of the weak. Okay? And that stuck with me for a long time. So much to where I put it in my notes, right? And so I'm sitting here talking to her, whatever, and we laughing and joking. It just made me reminisce on that car conversation me and Z had when he was like, you always just make friends everywhere, you know? And when it comes to the God winks with him, I will always see FedEx trucks. Like where I was at, it was like a FedEx hub that was down the street. So I kid you not, every day, as much as me and Z talked every day, I would see a FedEx truck. And I feel like that was like the confirmation of, you know, him always being around me. You know what I'm saying? Give me that wink from up above that, hey, I'm still here, you know? And it's so crazy and ironic as to how many coincidental things are between Z and Megan, my two friends, you know, that have passed away a week apart from each other. Because Megan was Cuban, right? And while I was talking to the Cambodian lady, I seen this bee, and Megan loves bees. And it had just flew, and it literally landed just right in front of me. It didn't budge or anything. It was just there while I was crying. And I was just like, damn, that's so crazy. Like, because I felt her energy as well. And it made me think of this one time. There used to be this place in Long Beach called Cuban Pete's, right? Somebody's name could be Pete, Peter. Somebody can be Cuban. That can be a confirmation. I mean, hell, somebody's initials can start with a B. But anywho, it was this one time I was celebrating a coworker's birthday, right? So Z is from Long Beach. And just so happened when I was going, Z called me. He was like, "What you on tonight?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm finna go to Cuban Pete's because it's the homegirl's birthday or whatever." So he was like, "You ain't no way you about to be in my city and I ain't seen you." So I was like, "Well, I'm at Cuban Pete's or whatever." I didn't know that this nigga was gonna pop up, right? So I'm in there. It's like a club, setting. So I'm in there and I'm dancing with my homegirls, whatever. And I just turn around and Z is like, you know how it's so much commotion going on, and then you just see a motherfucker just standing there. That shit made me laugh because everybody's dancing, turning up, and Z is just standing there stiff, right? And when I turned around, we locked eyes. I just started laughing. I'm like, ain't no way this nigga just really popped up at this fucking club. So I give him a hug, whatever, and then he goes and he goes to where these other because in Long Beach there's a lot of Cambodian people. So he goes to where these other dudes that I had seen. It was a couple of dudes and like a couple of females too. They all looked Cambodian. So he went over there, dapped it up with them or whatever. Because I'm thinking like, oh, okay, I guess he knows them. So I'm dancing and again chilling with my homegirls because he was like, I gotta go. So I'm like, all right. So evidently he just came in to tap in with me because I was in his city. And so one of the Cambodian girls that came up to me, and she had this big fish bowl, like seashell drink or whatever. Asked me now if I would ever do this. Absolutely not. But this is like early 20s. So she was like, "You want some?" And I was like, "Yeah." So me and my homegirl drunk from we got our own straws, of course, and like drunk from the fish bowl, whatever. And I remember her whispering in my ear. She was like, "If anybody fuck with you tonight, let me know and I got your back." And I was like, I'm thinking, because I'm tipsy, I'm like, where is this coming from? That was so far left, but I had to remember Z went over there to go dap up the people, whatever. So he must, knowing his ass, he must have told them, like, look out for that one. Make sure that one is okay. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing that I always respected when it came to him. Because even when we go to the studios and smoke, like, he would roll me my own blunts. He wouldn't have me smoking the blunts that him and the other dudes was smoking. That can be significant too. Like some of you guys could have come across someone who mirrors the same things of someone that could have passed away, you know? But yeah. And another thing, as far as a God wink, when it comes to my grandmother, that would be the fourth one. We talked about my brothers, Z, Megan. Now, when it came to my grandmother, a confirmation when it came to her as to how I knew that she was around or how, because here's the thing, collective, God is always going to show you things that only you will understand when it comes to how you and whoever's relationship you had is. You know what I'm saying? Like, you may walk down the street, see a FedEx truck, think nothing of it. But to me, that means something, right? That's how that should go. So it was one time when I worked at European Wax Center, there was, I had got this older lady, right? And as soon as I laid eyes on her, she made me think of my grandma, like from the hair to the features to the walk. And I was like, dang, that's so crazy. And she was the sweetest lady. So it was nothing short else of like a further confirmation of just her energy, right? And I just could not, I had to tell her, I was like, I'm sorry, like if I'm just staring, if I'm just staring at you. I was like, because you really make me think about my grandmother that passed away. She's like, no, it's okay, whatever. But she had a certain type of eloquence about herself like that just really was a stamp for my grandma. And it also made me think of my old neighbor that I had when I used to stay with my mom. Like, there was this neighbor that stayed across from us, and her too resembled my grandmother, right? And like, it would be times where I'll come out and she'll have her grandson taking a picture of her in her outfit or whatever, because my grandma knew how to dress, okay? She knew how to dress. And so just the way like she handled herself, or I think she was like Filipino. I think they were like Filipino or something like that. Somebody could be Filipino, that could be significant. Um, but yeah, it just made me think of her. So I feel like, in this current moment, collective, with all my yapping and my sharing my experiences of my God winks, I feel like a lot of y'all, because, especially speaking of energy that has passed over, um, that meshing with the message that I had yesterday in regards to like a grandmother or a grandfather or some type of older figure, energy coming up that has passed on, go look at that reading because it may be conducive to you. You may have more confirmations in that. It's titled "If Not You, Then Who?" Okay. Um, in the midst of you going through situations where you just feel weak, or you feel like, how am I going to get through this, how am I going to get past this, that's why it's so important for you to pay attention to the signs and the synchronicities that Big G sends you. There's signs and synchronicities all around us. We just have to be in tune and pay attention to them in order to notice them. You know, um, he talks to us all day, every day, through people, through symbolizations, through a lot of things. That's why it made me a little emotional when I swear, when I seen that post of that lady in the Mickey Mouse Playhouse or whatever episode. I was just like, man, God is so good to allow so many things behind the scenes to be orchestrated, all for her to get that message. It's like you never know what's going on in the background when it comes to how Big G got something set up to help you. But there will be signs of him letting you know, hey, it's on the way. I haven't forgot about you. And I feel like a lot of you guys, for you to have been geared towards this message, I feel like a lot of you guys are starting to see that. The ways in which you are becoming connected to Big G is just noticing those signs and synchronicities. It's like nothing is by coincidence. You know what I'm saying? When Big G designed this earth, he did it with thought. He did it with thought. So, I mean, when it comes to you aligning yourself or coming across certain people, places, and things, it's not by coincidence. It's for a reason. People can be your greatest asset or your worst detriment. You know? So that's why it's so important to like heavily vet the people that you let into your life, because again, they can either help you up or they can help you lose every fucking thing. So you want to be and surround yourself around people that work hard to mirror themselves in ways that's going to please Big G at the end of the day. It's like we're not all perfect and we're not all going to be here for a long time. Because there is an energy here of like people feeling like they got all the time in the world. When it comes to that person, when it comes to that place, when it comes to that thing. And things are temporary. And you're extremely blessed if you are blessed with either a person, place, or thing that lasts until you are no longer here. So today, collective, I want y'all to just really pay attention to y'all surroundings. What's going on? Ask Big G. Give me a sign. Give me something, a synchronicity to let me know I'm on the right path, to let me know I made the right decision, to, and he will give it to you. He will give it to you. Because your initial thought is going to be when it happens is going to confirm exactly what you asked for. It was so funny because I remember seeing this post and it was like, God, send me a sign if he's the right one for me. And then in the picture it was this guy. It was this guy that had this two-piece outfit on and it said nope all over it. It was just nope, 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 nope. That shit was so funny. But listen, collective, like I said, nothing happens for coincidence. You are noticing these God winks, these signs, these synchronicities. Exactly, Z. She said that we are all on borrowed time, for real. But you're not seeing those things by coincidence. Even you coming to this message and hearing me confirm what you probably needed to be confirmed is not by coincidence. Okay? So I love you guys. I hope you guys have a great day. I do have another message later, probably. But you guys have a good day. You know what I'm saying? Hey, lazy journalist. If this message resonated, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Put that bell on so you know when your girl is dropping a tea and when it's hot. And I'll catch you on the next one. Peace, y'all.